Okay, guys, back for part three of your own formula. This one's just going to be a quick ramble because we were talking about how to figure out what your formula is and your whys and things like that. Well, I'm just going to touch it and play with it a little bit right now. We'll see what comes of this. But one of the things you got to do sometimes is you do have to play around a little bit and experiment. What I mean by that is you may have to try different things, embrace things, and find out what you like and what you don't like. You might find that your world gets a lot bigger if you start expressing and playing and experimenting and figuring out some things. The only thing I'll say about it though truly is to be honest about it. So like, and this one is kind of silly, but let's say you belong to a certain culture, ethnic stream, and maybe in your ethnic stream they all listen to bossa nova or mambo, and say you listen to that and you don't like it, okay? But it's kind of expected of you because you belong to this ethnic stream, or rap music, or country music, or whatever. We'll just use music because, again, something alike. Being your unique self means that if that's something you don't like and it may be a very deep part of your culture, that you don't have to do that. Not and be yourself, because being authentic means you got to be truthful about what you like and what you don't like. If you sit down to the table and you eat Brussels sprouts and you hate them, and you don't have to sit around and act like you like them and then eat extras because it's expected of you, or because you think it's going to get you somewhere, somebody's going to like you because you eat Brussels sprouts. Because if somebody's flat out, guys, if somebody's that shallow that they can't like you for you because you don't like something stupid like Brussels sprouts or a certain type of pencil or whatever else, then really, is your ego that fragile that you need that person? Moving on. I'm sorry, I get a little, but anyway. So you experiment, you play with things, and you don't necessarily play with things that only belong to maybe your stereotyped culture. Like, for example, you know, I like things like hiking. I like, can't hardly swim a lick, but I do like being in the pool. Um, love things like steam rooms, jacuzzis, like to read, like martial arts, and love historical weapons like archaeology, anthropology, little sociology, mostly the part about communicating and making people understand one another and what makes people tick. I would have never known that if I had stayed in the little block or era of where I grew up at, because a lot of the people I knew don't do those things. Um, but I had to become an individual, and so I started to experiment. Now that's one of the things that was cool about my mom, because she worked at a college, and so I was around enough people that kind of were in flux, as it were, and experimenting, that I got to taste and touch different things and find things that I liked that maybe didn't fit with only the box that I was born into. And we all are born into some kind of box, expectations that people have of us, our moms, our dads, our aunts, our uncles, our friends, our extended friends, our bosses, our coworkers. I mean, we all have that. And what I'm encouraging you to do is break the rules in terms of getting out of that, deciding to be the person who will find the things that I like and be bold about it and say, this is what I like, and I'm going to embrace it and have fun with it. Even if the people that used to be with me or normally are around me don't like it, then I'm going to find some people that are, and that way you expand your circle and you have more people in it. So experiment and find things that you like and be honest about it. And don't like it just because all your friends like it. Don't do it just because you think it's going to get you somewhere with your boss or with your coworkers or with your mom or your dad or your uncle or your rich friend. Okay? That's really important for you to be you. Because again, my premise is that if you become the authentic person that's uniquely you, you're going to draw all the things that you need to you: people, places, experiences, and you're going to have more fun in life. I know that, again, we're always taught to be um, unappreciative of what we've been handed, most of us. We're also been taught to be a little more than critical of where we are compared to someone else. Um, I just don't think that if you're being yourself and you're really happy about it, that you're going to give a damn about that. I really don't. Because I can say for my own self, as I become more of the person that I am and enjoy that stuff, yeah, I'm not going to say that certain things aren't nice. I'm not going to say there are certain things that you won't want, but they will not be so much of a power over you that you won't have any happiness until you have them, until you get this person to like you, until you wear the right watch or eat the right cereal. Really? Are we 10? Anyway, so my point is, embrace and play with things and learn what you like. Because you can't just kind of know that sitting around doing nothing. Like, I can't sit here and do just armchair conversations every day and know what I like, if having never experienced anything, never experimented, never tried anything, and not occasionally step outside of the box and do something that maybe I've never done before, or take myself out of my comfort zone on occasion. Again, I don't think that evolving and changing your life is constantly smacking yourself in the face with new ideas all the time, just blah, 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 blah. No. I think that you have to hold on to some of the things that you like. I think you come out of your box sometimes and experiment and be honest about the results. And then you can go on and try new things and continue to embrace the things that you like. Um, like, for example, let's say that, maybe you have never cooked before. Um, in this day and age, that's still possible, especially with microwaves and boxed food. But let's say you've never actually cooked before. You don't really know what it's about. You're not really, I mean, you see it on TV and you've seen it in movies and you've heard it on MasterChef or whatever, but you don't really know what it's about, what goes into it. And maybe you're a little bit afraid of that, a little leery about it, because again, the pressure is that you got to come out being master chef, and that's not always the case. So maybe you've had a little fear about it, a little bit of trepidation, a little standoffishness, not sure. And then you go out and you start trying it, and then you realize, hey, I actually like this. This is kind of fun. And you begin to get into these things and you begin to enjoy them. And, at first it's not from the standpoint of being master chef, but it's just about the fact that it's a new thing and it's exciting and unique. And especially something that has to do with the senses, because you get to taste the results of your efforts. And that may be motivating to you too. But that's something that would have never happened had you not been willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Okay. But by the same token, if you get out there and you start learning to cook and you don't like it, you got to be honest about that too and say, hey, I don't really like this. Let's go to a restaurant from now on. I'm not going to cook. Uh, you have to be honest about both things. And my thing is, it's going to give you just as much joy to go out and eat if you don't like to cook as it will to cook if you want to cook. So I'm saying experiment and figure out things that you like. And sometimes you got to get outside of your comfort zone to figure out things that you like. Because there was no way in the world anybody would have been able to tell me a few years ago that I would like jazz as much as I do. Um, I'm not an aficionado, but I really like jazz. And I'll tell you another one. I like, shameless plug, and hopefully it doesn't give me any legal trouble. I like Pandora Radio. In particular, there's a couple of channels that I like. One has it's like a lot of yoga music and Indian type music. Never would have thought I liked that. until I tried it and listened to it. And because I'm in a different age bracket now, and I've gotten some meditation under my belt and been exposed to some other cultural things, I like it now. And I like reggae music. Um, I never thought I would like it as much as I do, but I like reggae music. Um, I don't know if I know anything about the styles and types, but I just in general I like it. But it's only come within the last year or so because I never really listened to it a lot before. Yeah, every now and then somebody'd have a hit that would cross over onto a normal radio station, but I never really listened to it until now, and now I realize I like it. I would have never known that had I not been willing to give it a try. Same thing with Indian music, particularly like the music that you would listen to that has some religious connotations, like yoga type music and Hindu chants and things like that. Would have never known that had I not been willing to give that a try. Or if I'd have stayed in a box that said that, that's stuff that you don't do, you don't do that, you don't listen to that, you're from America, you don't like this or that or whatever. Um, so what I'm telling you is you're going to finally find a lot of things if you actually take the time to experiment that are outside the box and maybe you never thought you'd like before. And those things give depth to your character and make you a more well-rounded you. It lets you bring, how we were talking earlier about the combination of things that you amalgamated become you, and that's what you put out as your uniqueness to the world. Well, how can you have a combination of stuff if you never get out there and try anything? So I'm encouraging you to be bold enough to start small and try little things. Try maybe a different music today. Eat something that maybe you've never eaten before. Um, Matter of fact, since we're going to go there, I went to a restaurant the other day and I had a roast beef melt. I would have never in a million years told you that I was going to order a roast beef sandwich, a pot roast, I'm sorry, pot roast sandwich. Um, because I had a fear up until recently of soup, sauces, and gravies. Still not a big soup fan, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. So I'm honest about the fact that I don't like it. Uh, Sauces, changed my mind, like a lot of different sauces now. And may eventually learn to like gravy, much to the happiness and joy of my mother, since we were in West Virginia, and the gravy is a staple here in many dishes. Um, but my point is, you get out there and you experiment, and you play, and you learn, and you grow, and you figure out things that you like. And some of those things are going to be different than the things you were exposed to. And you open up your world a lot more when you do that, and you cut yourself off less from the possibilities of enjoying your life and having things come into your life that are great. Um, and do you not realize, even with experimenting and learning new things that you like, that you're going to broaden the circle of people that can come to you? Because remember how I said being authentic, you're going to get people that are going to come into your circle and into your life to bring you joy and happiness, and you to bring them joy and happiness because of the fact that you're yourself. Well, if yourself likes reggae, you might bring in people from a different sphere of life that maybe aren't in your circle right now. Or if you like cooking, you may bring in people who absolutely have a joy for cooking, and they may take you to another level. And the one thing that I am learning about even the smallest things is sometimes even the smallest things can take you to the next level. My liking certain type of music may allow me to meet someone that I wouldn't have met before when, say, I was in my 20s and all I listened to was rap 24/7. Okay. Because I have gone to cultural events, I've rubbed elbows with people and been like, wow. Um, the other day, I met a judge for some circuit court because I went to a different gym and wanted to try out their steam room area. You know, um, I've met some people because of martial arts, um, really interesting people that are very different from me, and have given me the opportunity to experience new things. Um, some of my friends have gone and come back. And because I'm into different things now, I'm able to maintain those friendships where I might have been their slick Willie had I not grown any or wanted to experiment and try new things. And they might have had to cut me loose. So I guess what I'm saying is embrace the fact that you can try new things and expand your idea of what you are and who you are and what's going to be unique about you. And by not limiting yourself as much as you would if you think that who you are now is all you're ever going to be, that your whole world might change. And hell, you might be the person that changes the world for the better and in a way that maybe I won't. But I'd be very happy if I was somebody who gave you just the spark to to then turn into something awesome. So again, thanks for sharing my armchair with me, and I hope you guys have a great time, and we'll see you on the next time.